People who identify as leftists can be extremely colonial, and to be honest, Taiwan is the perfect example of that. Because instead of supporting indigenous people and engaging Han Chinese who have been both settlers and colonized in Taiwan, it's we either align ourselves with the US and might as well align ourselves with Israel while we're at it, or China must take over because China is a so-called communist country, and any country that positions itself as the opposite of the West is perfect and has no flaws.
This is just another case showing that the DEI, anti-colonialism, anti-capitalism, postmodern liberalism in the West are at their core still imperialistic. What they are really trying to do is to cultivate the idea that because America and the West have supposedly reflected on, apologized for, and sufficiently reckoned with their own colonial past, they now have the moral authority to lead a new global wave of decolonization. That is why they frame Russia and China as two of the last colonial empires in the world. The same logic then extends to Taiwan, with the claim that Han Chinese are somehow colonizing a place that has long been Chinese territory. That is a serious misapplication of historical facts. For example, many of the uprisings in Taiwan that Qing authorities suppressed between the 17th to 19th centuries were led largely by Han settlers already living on the island. So the notion that Han settlers in Taiwan were somehow equivalent to the settler colonial projects in the Western sense is frankly an irresponsible comparison. It serves to whitewash the actual settler colonialism in places like Australia, Canada, and Palestine. Because the way Sinic civilization has historically expanded was through farming. Chinese settlers moved into land to cultivate it. Their mode of production did not operate in the same way as the settler colonial systems that violently displaced indigenous people from hunting grounds for extraction and extermination. That is why calling this colonialism creates a false moral equivalence. What they are really doing is whitewashing the real colonialism by collapsing all forms of rule, association, migration, and civilizational expansion into the same category. And once you do that, the word colonialism stops being a serious historical concept and just becomes another political weapon.